Erev Shabbat. I think it's the last Shabbat in the month of Sivan, right? Soon, make sure to be this year. Anyway, it says, the Zohar says to us, come and say, Zohar wants to teach us something very important. Bayom HaShishi, on the sixth day, when it's Et HaErev, the time of, it's almost night, Ben Arba'im. מדלגת מדורת האש ההיא לתוך האור הגדול ועולה למעלה להיכנס לתוך הגוונים. That's, don't jump on me, because I'm not, but there is we're talking all about spiritual metaphors here, not actual description of hell like Dante's, and like, we're not talking about that. However, there is a refining aspects in the spiritual world that when a person does averot in this world, he introduces blemishes into his entity, into his body. Let's use the analogy of gold. So gold is, what's the level of purity of gold? 24. What's 24 karat? 0.9999%. In other words, there's no 100% pure. There's always some element inside. Maybe to say, En tzaddik shelo yechta. There's no tzaddik who cannot sin. Even if it's pure gold, there's a measure of sin in him on the matter. However, what happens, for example, if you make it the 22 karat gold? Is about, I guess, 92% pure gold. The rest is alloys. And what's the purpose of the alloy into the gold? To make it hard so it won't be so soft. 18 karat will be 72% gold. 14 karat gold will be 58% gold. What they call 10 karat gold, halachically, is not gold, because it's already in the 40%. So we don't have rov gold. So, and it's very strong. It's a strong thing. Now, when you do an avera, depends also how. If you ever looked at the real gold nugget that they got, sometimes you find on the gold, embedded within the gold, some dirt, some residue that you can actually clean. And so some people, when they do the avera, because en tzaddik shelo yechta, it's impossible to be 100%. Free of sin. So, the averot are on the surface. You just clean it up wash it a little bit, and you're good to go. Some people, they start introduce other elements, fuse and other elements into their pure neshama. And as much as the gold hardens up, so as your neshama hardens up. And people that have a lot of averot in them, or introduced themselves to a lot of wrongdoing, basically fused themselves into the world of sin. Now that needs refinement. I need to separate again sins and it's like, what am I doing? Because it's going to take me forever, but I'll try to make it short. Since you failed in your life, this is not from the Zohar, this I'm explaining to you. Since you failed in your life to distinguish, to do the beirur between good and bad, between what you should do and what you should not do, since you failed and you mixed up those qualities together, what was good was bad into your eyes, and what was bad was good into your eyes. Since you failed to do so, when you, upon return of the parcel of that called your soul back to its creator, back to where it came from, that assortment now needs to be made for you, because you failed. You infused wrongdoings within your neshama. You infused them. Now we need to separate it. That's why it's very important to be in a Torah environment, among Torah friends, among people who appreciate your Torah lifestyle and would not try to push you to the other end. Because once you go in, you're not quite sure you're going to come out. Not quite sure you're going to come out. It's very important. It's very important to be among people who speak Divrei Torah. Not only that they don't speak dirty or bad things or lies and stuff like that, then also speak Divrei Torah. Because just staying like this, you need to refine things to make things better. You need to change your outlook. You need to be in a Jewish environment, in a place where there's going to be Jewish people. And if not, you need to make sure that you are very, very, very aware of your situation, so you'll be able to deflect everything that comes. It's like for a person who has an immune system well developed that could reject some of the elements. A person whose immune system is weak, a sneeze will kill him. Let's say HIV, not AIDS, HIV as a virus, his autoimmune system. Anything that he can get a cold and die. You need to live in a Michael Jackson style, in an oxygen tent. So since you failed to do so, upon the returning of your neshama, we need to do the assortment for you. And how do we make the assortment of gold? How do we refine gold? We put it into the furnace. Again, it is all an analogy. Now that furnace burns. If you ever seen it, I've seen one. First time I saw it, I'll never forget that. I saw how to refine gold. Take a scrap of gold, kind of like pieces of gold, 18 karat, 14 karat, whatever it is, and then the guy burns it, and it is intense heat. He puts it in a special pot, and it's a pile of metal. You see slowly how it turns into liquid, and all of a sudden you see things fly in the air. It's like black soot is like really discharged to the air. So I asked the guy, "What is this?" He said, "That's the alloy burning out." In order to refine it, and then after the refinement is done, everything is done, and there's no more soot coming out, right? They take the gold, they pour it out, they cool it, they drill it, they test it. Now you get your gold. You get stamped your gold. They ask you at that point, do you want cash or do you want other gold? It's the same thing as to us. We all will have to go through a refinement in Olam Haba. We all have to go to this refinement. Everybody. Everyone. Every human being. It doesn't make a difference how wicked you were. I mean, if you were so wicked to a certain point, it's okay, it's not worth it. Call it a loss, throw it out. But if there is some chance, and then they say they give you the reward. They pay you for the reward. Do you want cash? You want to get paid, or you want to come down? What do you want to do? Okay? The same thing here in Olam Haba. And Yom Shishi, that fire that comes from that, goes back to its source, and the source is the light. And it's the light that actually comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Az Yisrael lemata, right? ומסדרים סעודות ואורחים שולחן כל אחד ואחד לשולחנו. Everybody at that time, when the fire, let's call it, the fire of Gehenna is being turned down, and the flame goes back to its source, to the light. That is the time that the Jews, right before Shabbat, set the tables. כל אחד מסדר את השולחן שלו. Everybody sets his table for Shabbat, which is very, very important. אז יוצא שברת אחרת. Then another type of light or fire comes out, ומכה במדורת האש ההיא, כיוון שיקטע בה מתגלגלת לשלשלת, והיא המדורה, והיא נכנסת, and so on and so forth. It slowly tells us the process, how is it come, and so on and so forth. And the fire stays there until Shabbat goes out. כיוון שיצא השבת, as soon as Shabbat leaves, צריכים עם ישראל לברך על האש, ומק ברכת מאורי האש. So that's the return of the fire back into that. ועל ידי הברכה מלמטה, from the bracha that comes, that we make the bracha here, יוצאת אותה שלהבת ושולטת כל המדורה ההיא, כל הלילה, והמדורה ההיא, and so on and so forth. What's the inyan here of setting the tables on Shabbat to what you have to do in Olam Haba? It's very simple. Based on how you treat Shabbat in this world, the table of Shabbat in this world will be the table that you're going to have in Shamayim up there. You did not bother to be mechabed the Shabbat here. Imagine you're going to sit, let's say you come to Olam Haba, right? Let's say, again, it's an analogy. Come into Olam Haba, you come into a hall, everybody wears like white jalabias. In Olam Haba, everybody's Faradi, by the way, everybody. Okay, you too, it's okay. They wear white jalabia, nice like this. Olam Haba, everybody has a beard, right? Beard, nice beard, right? Shulchanot, you come in, beautiful table set with white tablecloth and silver candelabras and beautiful food and so, and then me gusta mucho, hombre. And then they bring you to your table. Your table is some kind of like a dinky wooden table with like chips in it, but no things. And you have a plastic plate on Shabbat and a plastic cup on Shabbat and a plastic fork on Shabbat. And then you say, whoa, garçon, por favor, please, avianci, come here. Stotagoy, what is this? Tell them, listen, remember the Shabbat, you didn't want to do dishes, right? So you ate on plastic for a table. You didn't put tablecloth. You ate on plastic. You didn't plastic forks. Well, that's what you did. That's what you did here. Because Shabbat is the ultimate separation between good and bad. So it's done by itself. But still we have to be mevarech the Shabbat. We have to bless the Shabbat and we have to prepare for the Shabbat. So you have to be very careful with your preparation. That's why the Shulchan Aruch says, Afilu, even he's a very wealthy person, and he has maids and servants, Tzarich Adam Sheitrach Betzorchei Shabbat. You have to worry about Shabbat. You have to do something for Shabbat. Clean the toilet, I don't care, set the table, make a dish, make something. You have to be Torech Betzorchei Shabbat. You have to. Not only that because of Tzorchei Shabbat, being Torech for Tzorchei Shabbat, we set down many halachot of to or not to do, so you'll be able to do Tzorchei Shabbat, to take care of the needs of Shabbat, and you won't come up with the excuse, I was busy. Whether it's traveling, or what kind of a melacha you're allowed to do, or why you're not allowed to do, and so on and so forth, and on and on. So the Zohar here is telling you something very, very careful. Not only to be mechabed the Shabbat with a beautiful tablecloth, with a beautiful table, everybody to his abilities, But better off you eat bread all week long, dry bread with I don't know what, but on Shabbat you eat like a king. But it's not only that, it also tells you that you have to be very careful throughout the day, throughout the week, in making that selection of being able to distinguish between good and bad and so on and so forth all the time. Abotai, practice this Erev Shabbat now. Practice this today. Everybody go back home to whatever it is you do. Try to, from this point and on, at least until the end of Shabbat, really, try to think differently. Change your mindset about how you think of things, how you look upon things. Try to think more holy. Nothing wrong. We all play a role in our lives anyway. Well, why don't you one time play a role of a holy person? You all want to be John Wayne, or I don't know, whatever you guys grew up on, like Rambo's, or I don't know, Adam Levine, I don't know, whatever you guys want to be, right? I don't know. Why won't you one time I want to be a tzaddik. I want to be like, today I want to pretend I am the chida. I mean, all your life you're pretending anyway. Or today I pretend to be like the Ben Ish Chai, or today I pretend to be like the Gra, or today I pretend to be like the I don't know, the Ksot HaChoshen, or today I'll be like the, we have plenty of people. You could, this Shabbat you could be Ashkenazi Shabbat, Ashkenazi tzaddik. Next Shabbat you could be Sfardi. Next time you could be Temani. At least if you play the role, play a good role that will benefit you. Because playing a role of a dirtbag won't get you anywhere. Playing a role of a tzaddik will actually change your life. You'll change the way you think. Try to look at things from this point and on as a tzaddik, as a ben Torah. Even if it's a, after all we all play a role. Challah role, mezonot role. There's no such thing. But you know what I'm saying. So don't be a bum. Don't pretend you're some kind of like a hipster from downtown Brooklyn. Don't pretend you're some kind of, because you're not, and you're not, and you're not. You're a good Jewish person. And a good Jewish person acts upon us in a certain way. A good Jewish person needs to make sure he has his tzitzit upon him all the time. All the time. All the time. So last night I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning. I figured I'll go down, I'll put my tzitzit on. I know it's not time for tzitzit, but I want to have it on. It's like, help me a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I put my tzitzit on, talit katan. What happened to me? Nothing. On the contrary, probably something good. I'm not even aware. So, be a little different. Let's say you can't fall asleep, or you got up in the middle of the night. You don't. Go downstairs, take a sefer, and learn. I guarantee you fall asleep. Knowing you guys, guarantee you fall asleep. But you know, take a sefer, sit down and learn. Pretend you like the grass, sitting down in the middle of the night, learning Torah, or like Rashi. That's a yofi, that's a yofi. You do different things.
The best.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, and not only that, not only think in a different way now, not only drive in a different way, not even talk in a different way. At least, not the whole week is very difficult. At least try between now and the end of Shabbat. Listen, you already have Shabbat in the middle. You have a few hours. Let's see if for a few hours we can be like tzaddikim. Just pretend for a few hours. And then, whatever you can, everybody to his own circumstances. Prepare something for your Shabbat. Do something extra for your Shabbat. So I don't know, if you buy yourself a Danish for Shabbat, extra if that's all you have to do. And make sure it's different. Set your table. Sit down at the table. And when you eat the table, eat the seudah, you have to make sure that it's going to be appropriate for Shabbat Malkah. Don't forget, the way you're going to do Shabbat in this world, this table of Shabbat here will be the table of your Shabbat up there. So it's up to you. You prepare it here, you'll eat it there. You don't make the assortment here, it will be made for you there. So I wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom. Let's have this Shabbat a very spiritual Shabbat. Let's have this Shabbat safe for the Jews, whatever they are in the world. Let's have peace in the world. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu bless us all be'atzlacha, be'refuah, be'yirat shamayim, and be'torah lishma. So we all be zoched to learn Torah lishma. We should all be zoched lilmod, to learn Torah mitoch yeshuv hadat, without anything to worry about. Amen.